The muscles of the head, neck, forearm, and lower leg are rather difficult to see on the cat, so we're going to know these on models. As we look at the head, the circular muscle around the eye is the Orbicularis oculi. This is the one that allows you to wink. This is the one that closes your eye. Here in the cheek, this is the one that runs from the zygomatic bone to the corners of your mouth. When this muscle shortens, you are going to smile. This is the zygomaticus. And here you have another sphincter muscle surrounding your mouth. This is the Orbicularis oris. This is what allows you to close your mouth. Here from the side, we have this large jaw muscle. This is the masseter. This is involved in chewing. This helps you close your jaw. The sternocleidomastoid is attached to the sternum and the clavicle and to the mastoid process on the temporal bone. This muscle, when it contracts, allows you to flex your neck. The temporalis muscle is this large muscle on the temporal bone. This is also involved in jaw closure. As we look at the arm, we need to orient whether we're looking at the front or the back of the arm. Now this is the dorsum of the hand, so this is the posterior surface of the arm, the back of the arm, and it helps if you orient yourself a little bit here. All of the muscles on this side of the arm are going to extend something. They're all going to be extensors. Now it's easy to find the middle muscle. If you notice, this muscle comes down to all of these tendons on your fingers, and these all come together in this muscle right here. This is the extensor digitorum. It's going to extend your fingers. Now if you go all the way up here to the top and we go over to the thumb side, you'll remember that the radius is the bone on the thumb side of the forearm. This has to be an extensor. It's going to cross the wrist, so it's going to extend at the wrist, and it's going to be on the radius side. So this is the extensor carpi radialis. There's actually a longus and a brevis, so just know both of these are the extensor carpi radialis. They extend the wrist on the radial side. Now going back to your landmark, the extensor digitorum, go one muscle over to the little finger side. Same deal. This is an extensor. It's going to extend the wrist, and it's on the ulnar side. So this is the extensor carpi ulnaris. But if you find the extensor digitorum, and you remember that everything on the back of the arm is extensors, then you can find the extensor carpi radialis and the extensor carpi ulnaris pretty easily. Flipping the arm over so that we're looking at the palm, again, we're going to find the central muscle. Notice how all of these tendons come into this one muscle right here. This is the palmaris longus. So go all the way up to the top here. If we go to the thumb side, this has to be the flexor carpi radialis. On this side of the arm, all of the muscles are flexors. So this is the flexor carpi radialis. It'll flex the wrist, and it's on the radius side of the arm. The muscle over next to the ulna would be the flexor carpi ulnaris. There are two other muscles in the lower arm we need to look at. The pronator teres is here in the elbow, and it's what allows you to pronate your hands. And the brachioradialis is here in the lower arm. It comes all the way from up here in the arm all the way down. Now you can see that the pronator teres is right next to the flexor carpi radialis. This is the palm side, so this is the flexor carpi radialis. And the brachioradialis is right next to the extensor carpi radialis. Moving to the lower leg, you'll remember that this big bone right here is the tibia, so this muscle right in front of it is the tibialis anterior. As we go over here, notice how all of these tendons from the toes come up into this muscle. This is the extensor digitorum longus, so this is going to extend the toes. As we turn on around to the side, now this is going to be the lateral part of the foot, so the fibula is under here someplace. We have the tibialis anterior. We have the extensor digitorum longus, and then this muscle right here is the fibularis muscles. It's a group of muscles. Sometimes they're referred to as the peroneus muscles, but this is right over the fibula. Then we have this very flat muscle called the soleus, flat like the sole of your shoe, and the gastrocnemius. The gastrocnemius is the big bellied muscle of the back of your leg. Looking on the other side, we're now on the medial side of the foot. We see the gastrocnemius and the soleus, and then we have this little muscle right here. This goes down, and its tendons go all the way to the toes on the bottom of the foot. So these are going to flex the toes, so this is the flexor digitorum longus.